Good afternoon. My name is Diana Sanchez, and this is my presentation on public transportation versus private transportation. So, the public transportation that I chose for this presentation is Riverside County's Riverside Transportation Agency, also known as RTA. It is the public transportation agency that is used in western Riverside County. Their mission statement is to provide safe, reliable, courteous, accessible, and user-friendly services to their customers. The private transportation agency that I chose has a similar mission statement as RTA, and this is another method of transportation, and it's Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines has a mission statement that is also dedicated to its consumers and its workers, and it reads the following: We, Delta's employees, customers, and community partners together form a force for positive local and global change, this dedicated to bettering standards of living and the environment where we and our customers live and work. Which brings me to my thesis, and I would stand in the position that I believe that both public and private agencies have similar organizational structures and are very similar in both important and unimportant aspects. And in this case, these both agencies have similar mission statements and similar management systems. However, how they execute or the purpose of their overall purpose of their organization is different from one another. The three themes I chose for this presentation to show the similarities between these two agencies are Theme 1, Division of Labor, Theme 2, Delivery of Services, and Theme 3, which is a combination of equity versus efficiency. So for Theme 1, we can see right here that both organizations, RTA being on your left side and Delta being on your right side, they both are some way forming a from an a bureaucratic organizational system. For RTA, they are governed by a board of directors of 22 elected officials from 18 cities in western Riverside County and 4 members of the county board of supervisors. As for Delta, they have 1 president, 1 senior executive vice president, 1 executive vice president and financial officer, 1 executive vice president and chief of HR. So these two take over more than multiple tasks, more than one task, I'm sorry. And then they have 1 legal officer, and he's also a corporation secretary. They have 1 global sales vice president and 1 chief of communications and 1 chief of information technology. Both of these agencies have a hierarchy structure where either the elected officials, as is for RTA's case, are the ones that are the decision makers, and in Delta's case, it would be the strategic aspect. The support staff would be, for a Delta, would be the pilots and the flight crew. The middle line would be anything in the administration, such as HR, payroll. The technology structure would be our technology departments, such as information technology and engineers, and then the operating core would be any customer service. As for RTA, they have their board of directors, and then they have their administration side, and underneath they have their customer service, their drivers, and their maintenance. So something very similar, but they execute their duties and their tasks differently. So my second theme is the delivery of services. And for RTAs, they as a public agency, and as Taylor introduces in the study of administration, they are there to serve the public, to meet the public's needs, and they offer the best services they can to the public. And a lot of incentives that they use are for the students' needs. They have a lot of promotions or free rides during summer for locals or students or disabled riders. And they always offer, for instance, Wi-Fi in their buses. For Delta, it's a little different. They are there for the public, but they are there depending on how much are you willing to pay for how much you want. In other words, you get what you pay for. So they offer you the most proper and adequate service depending on how much you spend, which is something very common in a private sector organization. You need to pay more to get a better service. In instance, for Delta, if you want first class, you want Wi-Fi during your flight, you need to let go of a little more money, and that is not the case with RDA. Regardless if you pay 25 cents for your ride or $2 for your ride, you're still going to get the same commodities, and you're still going to be offered the same services. So my third theme, it's equity versus efficiency. And this ties into Taylor and Wilson in a way that they're both trying to deliver efficiency and equity to the employees. However, it is different where it weighs differently. For a public agency, they might weigh the same. For a private agency such as Delta, there's other purposes for this, or some efficiency might be outweighing equity, because money is more important than employee retention. You are just another member of their company, and you're just another employee that can be replaced if you cannot meet the standards or be productive enough for the organization. As for RTA, it's a public agency, and they're trying to meet all standards to both meet the employees' needs and be fair and justice and ethical and very balanced, as well as trying to meet the organization's needs and be efficient. I want to thank you once again for listening to my presentation, and any feedback is truly appreciated. Thank you.